go. Welcome to a 1v1 on road to Kharkov. This game is Skin versus Donutrock. We're going to see Oster in the north with German infantry defensive and assault support, so he's apparently playing very experimental, versus Donutrock, who has chosen advanced warfare, which is a pretty decent commander. And you don't see it that frequently, but you see it occasionally. Still pretty meta with the T-3485, which you can't spam them quite as hard. And there's no guards, so it's slightly less powerful than guard mortar, and no heavy mortar. The PPSH on this map isn't great unless you can find ways to engage at short range, which can be hard. Generally want to engage in this general area around here, maybe some short range engagements in the more cluttered areas of this map, but for the most part this map is quite a long range map, so it can be difficult to get good PPSH engagements going. So I don't know how much you'll be using that, but we'll see. He's also got conscript repair, which is always nice, and then the Sturmovik is just terrible because it seems to do absolutely nothing. Pioneers moving to take control of the center victory point right here. Conscripts are taking control of the left side victory point. These conscripts jump into green covered, firing against those pios. And we're going to see a tier 1 opening from Donutrock after 3 conscripts to give him access to an M3, I assume, which is a nice thing to have on a map of this size. Makes your units much more mobile. Conscripts set up in green cover for this initial engagement. Moving into this house. I'm not sure if he had to do that. He had all 6 models in green cover. I don't think he was going to get suppressed. The ideal place to engage in this engagement, which happens frequently, is if you can cross this road and get into this green cover position right here. That way your opponent cannot use the green cover right there. Not that he is doing so, he's sitting in this yellow cover. It can be a little dangerous to actually get into that position, but if you do make it there, you'll have a good chance of doing high damage to the units right here. But at the same time, you'll be vulnerable to a flank from a unit standing in this green cover position. So something you have to keep in mind, and it's very timing dependent. And it looks like in this example, because he went tier 1, he is probably better off playing defensively as he's doing until the scout car arrives. So probably making the right decision here and just trying to pick off models where the opportunity presents itself. Combat engineers taking this territory over here on the left, and this conscript squad taking control of this strategic point right here. And the M3 has arrived, but no flamethrower. Where's the oh right, combat engineers are all the way over here. So no flamethrower in the M3, just going to be utilizing that as a light damage source on these infantry squads. 1 machine gun has been forced to retreat, 2nd one on the way, so we're going to see a double MG build, 3 grenadier build against 3 conscripts into an M3, and Donutrock is already floating quite a bit here. You should either throw out a 2nd combat engineer squad, which people have a tendency to really like doing it with tier 1 build, or just more conscript spam. He doesn't have any call-in infantry, so he needs to field something. Maybe he's thinking of going sniper, I don't know, but he definitely needs to, I think my pizza's here. Hello? Okay. The front lobby. I'll come get you at the front lobby. Okay. I'll be right back. Oh my god. This is absolutely the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. A pizza just like showed up. I didn't even have to like do anything. He just like handed it to me and that was it. Cause like the tip is already taken care of and everything. Here it is. My Papa John's The Works Pizza. Show it to you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Does that not look absolutely delicious? I certainly think it does. Mmm. Am I like muted this whole time? Sorry. It's good though. Alright, I'm not gonna eat the whole thing here right now, because obviously I have casting to do. Sorry about that. That was so good. Oh my god. That treat stream idea is the best idea I've ever come up with. Totally worth it. Alright, I'll eat that. I'll eat that later. Okay. Double Faust on the M3 right there. So he does get 2 squads of Grenadiers in range to take out that M3. And a sniper is now in production. So we'll see if he can make better use of a sniper than he did with the scout car. He never threw a flamethrower in there. And he never really had any serious impact with that M3. So it looks like Skin will be able to maintain control of his cutoff, most importantly. And the victory point right here.
Sniper has arrived.
Maintain control of this game. Snipers on the field, and a new M3 is now in production. MG42 taking control of the left side strategic point,
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
or cutoff and strategic point. Over here.
The hard part will be keeping it. Armored car has reported for duty. Scout car. We built it as enemy forces capturing supply sector. As we can be.
Conscripts heading right to take control of the fuel and munitions points over there. And there's a fresh M3 on the field, but still no flamethrower upgrade. He didn't really utilize it as a transport vehicle for his conscripts either. He's just driving the M3 up here to the front lines. Going to try and maybe put some pressure on the machine gun with it. No cover here for the machine gun. It's not in the red cover road, but it's on open ground, so not much better. Charging across the road, those Grenadiers take pretty heavy damage, plus there's a sniper firing on them. Sniper has not taken a shot yet. Conscripts will try and pull out of that machine gun's range.
We have it.
Whoa, that rifle grenade! I didn't even see that. I heard the noise. I was like, where's the grenade? And the full squad gets wiped. Nice rifle grenade right there. Sniper's up to 2 kills, putting pressure on that machine gun to reposition. These squads, this one might even be a little overextended, but it's harassing the left side unopposed right now, and there's a 2-2-1 production. Grenadiers need to keep moving as well up the left side. Grenadiers over here on the right might consider securing this building, charging into close range on those conscripts and taking sniper fire. They will be forced to retreat right there, and it looks like the Oster player will lose control of the north cutoff, which means... well, he didn't have this fuel coming in anyway, so he's got a lot of work to do over here on the right side, but he is getting some harassment on the left. He should probably have prioritized the capture of this cutoff rather than sending this machine gun all the way to this south house right here. He will force that retreat, apparently. But the Soviet player still has resources coming in from this fuel point and this fuel point, which is 33 fuel coming in for the Soviet player right now, compared to Skin's 13, which is just awful. Conscript sandbag position going up right here. Sniper available in the general area to support. MG42 moving up to engage here. 222 does encounter the sniper, dove it though, and just got its engine destroyed by AT grenades and will be finished off by small arms fire. Is it out of control? I can't tell if it's dead or not. No, it's just almost dead. Conscripts will finish the job before getting suppressed by the MG42 over there. Nice attempt with the scout car to kill that sniper, but unfortunately it got away with just the tiniest sliver of HP remaining. Sniper is up to 4 kills, which I think is probably more manpower lost so far on just reinforcement than, well, no. Probably 120 manpower of damage inflicted versus 90 being spent on reinforcement, not to mention the initial 360 spent on the purchase, so that sniper is not proving to be a very good return on investment yet. And as a result of that, the Oster player has not only an army of larger size, but has also managed to tech to Battle Phase 1 get Tier 2 constructed, so not a very good situation for the Soviet, for the Soviet player. M3 circling around down here towards the south will encounter a machine gun and grenadier squad. There is finally a flamethrower inside though. We'll move to put pressure on the machine gun first.
We have an isolated sector. The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Grenadiers taking control of this strategic point. Grenadiers grabbing the fuel and munitions simultaneously. M3 will be forced back. Machine gun is going to retreat. Sniper up to 6 kills now. Ooh, LMG laser beams another sniper model down though. It's another 90 manpower of reinforcement it has to do. 180 manpower lost on that sniper in addition to the purchase price. So far, pretty bad. Pretty bad performance by that sniper. Over here on the right side, conscripts will engage from a position in green cover against these grenadiers in yellow, falling pretty low. Looks like grenadiers will win this based on the health level of that squad, plus machine gun moving up to support. Over here on the left side, ooh, rifle grenade will get dodged. Squad gets away narrowly. Conscripts taking control of the left side munitions. Sniper has been reinforced and is making his way back to the front line and healed, and a mortar is in production. He's gone tier 2 and tier 1. Gonna cut into his fuel a little bit, hurt his ability to call in late game T-34s, but hopefully he'll have a little more success with some tier 2 units than he's had with tier 1. Squad retreats right there. MG42 also retreats away from the munitions point. Conscripts taking control of this victory point here. And M3 is going hard north to take control of that fuel point. Panzer Grenadiers are on the field, charging into these conscripts on the munitions. Sniper is going to bleed them though, and there's an M3 with a flamethrower moving to chase them on their retreat. That could be a very expensive loss if they go down. AT gun setup though will probably convince that M3 to pull back to safety. MG42 right here will also suppress these conscripts, but they are providing vision for the sniper. Everything's going to make a full retreat though. I think that sniper could have maybe done a little more damage here. But apparently he was too afraid of those advancing pyos, killing his quite wounded conscripts. Meanwhile, over here on the left, one squad of conscripts takes the victory point first before backpedaling to the munitions, trying to keep the clock ticking against the Oster, but really the victory points have not moved that much. 13 minutes in, still over 400 victory points remaining for both players. Grenadiers taking control of this strategic point, and this mortar will be forced to retreat. A little bit undefended over there on the right side from those Pyos. Conscripts upgrade with PPSHs, but they're engaging over here on these open fields. It's actually going to make them weaker at this range at which he is engaging, so not sure what I think about that. Double sniper here for Donutrock. Second one's on the field. The first one has lost 2 models, but inflicted 9 kills, so really he's still operating at a pretty expensive loss on that Soviet sniper right now. Almost wipes that squad, but the suppression from the MG42 may be what saves them. Get away quite narrowly. Over here on the right side, conscripts with their PPSHs will take control of the right side VP. He might consider throwing up a few more green cover sandbags with his conscripts to protect himself against counterattack. And with PPSHs, nothing can charge him in a green cover position without taking extremely heavy damage at close range. Something he could probably do to improve his odds of actually holding this position for a significant amount of time. MG will have no problem forcing that retreat because he didn't build any cover for himself. But Grenadiers run his flank anyway, so I don't know. Apparently defensive doctrine will be chosen here by Skid, giving him access to all kinds of fun stuff. Maybe we'll see a Pack 43 this game, I don't know. Maybe also sector artillery. I'm pretty sure this is the one that doesn't require any vision or anything. It'll just blow stuff up. It only works in your own territory though. 200 munitions for that. Man, that's expensive. It would be kind of fun to see that. I don't see that ability very frequently. I've seen it like once. See what happens. Rifle grenade on that squad kills 2 models. They'll be forced to retreat right there. Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers moving up over here on the left side. Might be able to push away that M3, but there are 2 snipers over here. It's going to make it pretty dangerous for these four-man squads to engage. Mortar bombarding from range, and it looks like Pyos will get this victory point back under control, and the clock's going to start ticking against Donutrock again. A little. Mortar firing on some of these squads. They will probably find an opportunity against that mortar. These snipers will have to try and kite. They're not really making an effort to do so, and a rifle grenade just blasted that one. Both squads do fall low in that engagement and will be forced to retreat, but a sniper just died, so very good trade for Skin, whose snipers have just been terrible this game. They really have not given him much of a payoff at all. Tier 4 under production here from Donutrock, who apparently feels comfortable going with this structure despite not having that much map control. He's had a few moments where he has actually taken control of both fuel points though, so he's not doing terrible for fuel by any means, but if he fields a tier 4 unit, he's only going to be able to get 1 T-34, which I guess is fine. Especially since his opponent has chosen defensive doctrine. We'll have access to battle phase 2 probably soon. He's up to 275 fuel himself. I'm not really sure what he's waiting for on teching up. Maybe he doesn't feel he has the manpower. I don't know. He's floating a lot of resources like crazy. Maybe he wants to get a Pack 43 out before he techs up. I could maybe see that. Grenadiers jumping up into the green cover position right here. And on the left, a couple mines are going to get planted. Machine gun just walked straight into that flamethrower. Oh, that S-mine field. Full squad of conscripts wiped on S-mines. Wonder if they had PPSHs. Yeah, they did. PPSH upgraded squad gets wiped on an S-mine field. Nice usage of the S-mines right there. Wasn't paying quite close enough attention to his capping over there on the left side. MG will actually set up and manage to chase off that flamethrower. Apparently the flamethrower didn't get very good RNG during that engagement. M3 is trying to bleed these Panzer Grenadiers. They're going to hide behind this thing. What is this anyway? Like, what is this actually supposed to be? Is it just like a giant stack of hay? I guess. I don't know. I don't know how farming works in World War II era Russia. AT gun moving up over here on the left side.
Objective secure. We will defend it. Waiting for your command.
These conscripts gambled a little bit on taking control of the right side victory point, but there's a minesweeper over here. We'll be able to clear up the rest of those S-mines. They're not really being defended right now. MG42 and Panzer Grenadiers on their way to defend. And there's the first T-34-85, so we will field his call in before his first Tier 4 unit. And I'm expecting Katyusha, but maybe Su-85. Not really expecting Su-76, but I guess it could happen. Sniper is going to try and take shots at some various team weapons infantry over here, while the T-34 circles right to try and clean up those Panzer Grenadiers. There's currently no anti-tank over here, so that T-34 should be pretty much fine. And I think Skin probably could have made it to Tier 4, honestly. He's got 250 fuel, even after building his Tier 3 structure, but he'll be able to spam tanks pretty hard once that completes. So, guess that's his prerogative. Panzer IV in production now. He'll be able to get another one immediately afterward. T-34 sweeps up some S-mines by driving over them and continues its advance up the right to push away some Grenadiers. And these flamethrower combat engineers will grab that cutoff back. Mortar is going to reposition to a slightly more aggressive location as well. Scout car is just idling down there, and a lot of squads are healing. Idle in the base. They'll make their way back to the front line now. T-34 does minor damage to that squad, which will be forced to retreat, and the AT gun is moving to counter. And Skin has not used any of his commander's features yet. No Pak-43. No tank traps. He apparently thought about a trench, but canceled it, so I'm not really sure what his plans are for this commander. Maybe just hull down. He's going to have a Panzer IV on the field soon. Kind of a shame that he picked this and hasn't used it in any way. And he doesn't have enough munitions float for sector artillery, so yeah, I don't really know. Only one AT gun currently on the field, but an AT gun plus Panzer IV should be able to take on a T-34 if it gets a little too aggressive. AT grenade on that thing does not penetrate. On the Panzer IV does not penetrate. Takes a shot at the conscripts right here. Brings them a little bit low. Sniper up to 5 kills. Still hasn't done anything all that impressive. Although shots against Panzer Grenadier squads are pretty good. They're expensive. He should not remain in Panzer IV range with that sniper. He's kind of asking for it a little bit. He's going to get nailed any second. AT gun will push the T-34 back. PPSH conscripts throw another AT grenade? No. Smoke barrage from the mortar, apparently, which is taking forever, but Sturmovik strike here in the road doesn't really hit anything. There's the smoke mortar, I guess. Pushes the AT gun and Panzer IV back ever so slightly. But honestly, I think the engagement was going pretty well for Skin. I don't even know if he had to pull back. For whatever reason, he didn't like it. Gets out of there. Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers taking control of this sector here in the south. Will get pushed back by the T-34 slightly. Over here on the left, an MG42 is going to get the victory point clock ticking against Donutrock again, who has fielded a second T-34, which means he has not built a Tier 4 unit. He just built the structure for no reason, which is a lot of resources to be spending on a structure that doesn't produce anything. Su-85 I could maybe see at this point. With the Panzer IV on the field, he might want to be able to engage it from long range. But T-34-85 has performed pretty well against Panzer IV in a slugfest, so... Stug on the field. Guess I could see that. He's going to have to keep that behind the Panzer IV. Because it goes down pretty easily to T-34s. Even frontally. Both fuel points temporarily held by the Soviet player will give him a bit of an influx of fuel. Help with his high-tech unit production. Possibly a wipe over here. Machine gun not being monitored, gets killed by the M3 plus conscripts. That'll be an easy steal, and that's a shame to lose that. Probably shouldn't have extended it so deep without any support at all. Panzer IV needs some repairs. Stug is available to support. And still no usage of any of these commander features. And Donutrock is floating munitions like crazy. He needs to plant mines, and he needs to throw down demo charges. He could consider conscript tripwire flares, and just general usage of Molotovs. And of course, actually no, he doesn't have self-repair. Advanced Warfare does not have self-repair, so... And I guess technically you could throw PPSH upgrades on more conscripts, but on this map I honestly don't even think they're worth it. T-34 gets a shot off on the Panzer IV, will pull back from the Stug, which penetrates twice. Stug has a very high rate of fire, so it's kind of nice to have, but it's hard to keep them alive. There is a mine down right there. Stug can't get too aggressive without Minesweeper support. Skin might consider throwing a Minesweeper on his one remaining Pio squad, especially on this map. Can be very dangerous to overextend your tanks. Basically any map that generally produces long games and has very clearly defined front lines, and the map gets split in half for a long time, makes offensives into your enemy's territory very dangerous because there's a tendency for mines to be everywhere. Fortunately, Donutrock has not planted that many, but there's some. And he's dangerously close to that one. Fortunately, a random Pio just stepped on it, so that's one way to clear mines, I guess. LMG Grenadiers laser beam those combat engineers down so quick. Sniper's gonna retreat from this offensive. M3 retreating, conscripts retreating, full retreat by Donutrock, who doesn't feel comfortable with his engagement without his second tank available to support. And he also just fielded a penal battalion late game. Maybe thinks he'll have more success with that over here on the right side. Minesweepers sent over here to clean up any S-mine possibility. Get control of that victory point. Meanwhile, Skin needs to take control of that VP. Get the clock ticking against his opponent. If he doesn't ever take victory points, this game's going to last forever. Taking his sweet time on repairing these tanks, which are all sitting in his base. His push for the right side looks like it's gonna fail. MG42 set up over here, plus Panzer Grenadiers, and everything is forced off the battlefield. He'll be able to get this back under his control. Still no attempt to capture this victory point, though. If you don't get a triple cap going, the victory point clock barely moves at all. Setting up a triple cap in this game is very important if you actually want to win in less than an hour. AT gun sets up to fire against the T-34s right here, basically just sitting in front of everything. Two T-34s against Panzer IV, Stug, and AT gun will not win, especially in a frontal assault. A flank maybe, since two of these things are vulnerable to being flanked. No turret on the Stug and AT gun. So frontal assault is definitely not advisable. That bundle grenade. That was pretty good. Pretty good bundle grenade. Forces a retreat from both of those squads, and Skin will maintain control of the Soviet cutoff over here on the left side. Right side victory point still uncontested. Could consider taking that with the MG42. Still no usage of any commander features as far as I can tell. And still no attempt to capture the left side VP. Over here in the base, no battle phase 3. Up to a pretty decent amount of fuel, but not that much. He fielded a second Panzer IV in addition to these two. So 3 Tier 3 units on the field right now. Might consider a transition to Tier 4. Meanwhile, no Tier 4 unit purchased by Donutrock, who's had the Tier 4 structure for quite some time, but appears to be saving up for another T-34, which is very confusing. Penal Battalion taking control of this cutoff. Mortar set up right here, firing in this area. One Panzer IV defending the center VP, this one defending the left side cutoff, and the anti-tank gun will finally take this victory point. No attempt to take the right side victory point with anything except for, I guess, this Grenadier squad, which is on its way now. Panzer Grenadiers move up to push away that Penal Battalion.
Enemy squad attacking! T-34, enemy forces are capturing our supplies. Enemy contact! Enemy contact! Supply sector under attack.
There goes that squad. Big flank coming in on the T-34 over here on the right side. Panzer IV will charge from the front, and this one flanking from the rear. Second T-34 is available for the engagement, and a third T-34 is hovering right here, but does not move to engage. This Panzer IV looks like it's going to go down during this engagement.
Air support is available.
Miss. Main gun destroyed. That one might get away. That one gets away very narrowly. No, disengage. What is he doing? Get that out of there. This Panzer IV should probably not dive. I don't know. Trying to circle strafe this one. This one needs to get to safety. This thing needs to get to safety. Full health T-34 moves to support in the engagement. The Stug and AT gun are nowhere to be found. Pios get wiped, and both of these tanks are going to have to pull back for some emergency repairs on a fresh squad of Pios, and this T-34 looks like it's on the hunt. Both of those tanks very vulnerable right now. Panzer Grenadiers catch some PPSH conscripts out in the open right here at medium range. They win the engagement. Flame crits bring them low. Both squads will retreat. Victory point will remain in Axis control here. This squad of conscripts moves to take control of the center VP, and the full health T-34 moves up to bust that bunker. Lots of combat engineers moving to repair these two wounded T-34s, and there's no Pios queued up. Build Pios. He has no way to repair these tanks at all if he does not field some Pios. The 200 manpower, he's got the resources. There he goes. It's going to take him a very long time to repair. By the way, both of these tanks, which is one squad of Pios, it's unfortunate that his existing squad was wiped because he could definitely use 2, maybe even 3 Pio squads. His opponent, by comparison, can repair quite quickly with all of these combat engineer squads, and his conscripts can repair too, so he's going to be very hard-pressed to out-repair his opponent this game, and if he could get some manpower together for a Pack 43, that would probably help a lot. But he has a victory point lead, and he's got time. Infantry squads move to take control of the center, and there are Panzer Shreks and an AT gun in this area, as well as the Stug, which is facing a little weird.
Upgrade complete. Watch out! Grenade! Man down!
Rifle grenade forces a retreat from those conscripts. And over here on the right side, T-34 activates secure mode to start harassing that fuel.
Fire incoming! T-34 taking fire!
AT gun and Stug take a few shots at that. T-34 has to pull back for repairs. This one's back to full. This one also back up to full. Splitting his tanks between all the different fronts over here. He does decap this fuel point, gets the victory point going back in his favor. Still needs to try and work the center and left somehow. This T-34 will encounter, oh my god, that Panzer Shrek squad, but it gets a huge hit. He will actually be able to put one Panzer Shrek on each of these squads now though, so I guess maybe that's good. Spaces his Panzer Shreks out a little bit between the squad members. This squad also has Panzer Shreks. Mines being planted over here on the right side, putting them a little close to each other though. Two T-34s defending left with sniper, mortar, and penal battalion support. Still no tier 4 unit though after fielding 3 T-34s, but he could afford one if he takes some losses. He's up to about 100 of 100 pop cap. Skin on the other hand will be there soon. No, he's probably close to 100 of 100 when fully reinforced. Maybe he could get another squad of Pios out or something. Maybe a Pack 43.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Seems to me like that would be the strongest feature of this commander, especially against a Soviet commander with no form of artillery or incendiary artillery or anything like that.
Under attack by enemy armor. Well done, comrades. It is
Panzer IVs engage against the penal battalion in that building. We'll force them out.
You're not dying, you're not trying. The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Panzer Grenadiers forced to retreat over here. They will get away very narrowly from massed combat engineers, mass minesweepers, and conscripts, and of course the T-34, which is now going to rotate center. It looks like full victory point control is going to go back to the Soviet player. 2 squads of piles on the field now, 1 upgraded with a flamethrower. A couple squads getting this cutoff back, and it looks like we're going to see a big push against that T-34 here. It's taking a lot of damage from AT gun Stug, and 2 Panzer IVs worth of fire might go down. If that Panzer IV could rotate a little better. There it is. Long shot takes the T-34 out. 1 T-34 down, 2 to go. No losses on these Panzer IVs, but they shouldn't overextend. There's a lot of mines over here. This could end in disaster. There's 1 mine hit. Oh, be careful with that Panzer IV. He's going to hit both. Oh my god, I think he might lose both of these. T-34 is on its way to follow up. This T-34 also on its way to follow up. And this T-34 on its way. That's a 4 T-34s, by the way, purchased. As soon as he lost that one, fielded another, and all 3 are on their way to punish these Panzer IVs for advancing without minesweeper support. And I'm pretty sure they're both dead. That one popped easily, and this one destroyed easily. Both Panzer IVs down. A rescue operation was not quick enough. Panzer Faust on that T-34, but that Stug is just asking to get wrecked. We'll try and pull back to safety. The AT gun looks like it might be overextending itself slightly. Over here on the left side, Flamethrower will easily win with sniper support against these Panzer Grenadiers. There's the retreat, easily dodges the bundle grenade. M3 moves up into close range against a squad with 1 Panzerschreck. And is just trying to disengage. MG42 defending the victory point is not going to last long with that sniper pushing it off the field, and there's the retreat. Left side victory point should fall into Soviet control. Right side should be easy to take with both Panzer IVs destroyed, and apparently a Grenadier squad wiped too. I missed that happening. Dropping their MG42. Stug is getting fully repaired. 3rd Panzer IV is currently in production, and still there is no Pack 43 anywhere on the field, and his manpower bleed is actually quite high because Panzer Grenadiers cost 42 to reinforce, which is a lot. Extremely expensive to maintain a 3 Panzer Grenadier army, which is why you generally don't want to overinvest in elite infantry as any faction. Except for US forces, because paratroopers have the same reinforced cost as riflemen.
Riflemen ready for orders.
Mortar bombarding in this area.
The sector is
There's actually not as many Panzerschrecks out as it looks like, though, left-hand man. One squad has 2 Panzerschrecks, the other 2 will have 1 each, so It's not that many. Although 4 Panzerschrecks, if they all connect, it's a pretty significant threat to a T-34. 3 T-34s currently on the field. Again, he built a Tier 4 structure and never fielded a single unit out of it. These 2 squads are going to retreat from the strategic points right here, and Soviet resources are going to be cut off. The victory points have still barely moved all game, but I feel like the Soviet player is poised to make a decisive game-winning engagement with his massive tanks, since he took out 2 Panzer IVs and lost nothing really in return. Up against Oster Tier 3, he should have no problem outproducing his opponent. Bundle grenade on the conscripts right there. They do fall a little bit low, forced to retreat. This T-34 pulls back a little bit, needs some repairs. A Sturmovik strike coming in actually does kind of okay damage on the rear armor of some of these tanks. Light damage to the pack right there as well. AT gun takes a shot at that T-34 and has to pull back for some repairs. This one doesn't seem to feel comfortable continuing to engage either. Repairs will be quite quick though. Like I said before, I think Soviet player has a huge repair speed advantage right now. Maybe not huge, but pretty significant.
Squad at full strength.
Excuse me.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Panzer Grenadiers taking control of the left side, victory point and munitions. Nobody's recovered this machine gun, by the way. It's pretty important to recover team weapons when opportunities present themselves. As both sides.
Engineer standing by.
Couple squads here on the right. T-34 getting repaired right here. This one's at full health. Mine getting planted over there. Mortar defending, sniper defending, conscripts trying to probe a little bit. MG-40, wow, that snipe. MG-42 will push that away easily enough. Bit of a defensive line set up over here on the right side. Will probably require tanks to punch through, 2 of which will be available very soon. This one's moving left to assist in engagements for this area. Penal Battalion taking back the munitions and victory point. Should get the clock ticking against Skin very soon, who again is quite weak. Although he's massed quite a bit of fuel, he did finally decide to transition to Tier 4. He's probably going to get out of Panther or Broom Bear soon. I suspect Panther. Panther would make a lot of sense against this quantity of T-34s. A huge amount of mines planted over here. Hopefully Skin learned his lesson and will not be overly aggressive on the right side without minesweeper support. He has not purchased one though. Despite losing 2 Panzer IVs to mines, he has purchased no minesweeper, and he is going on an extremely deep and dangerous flank right here. He will pick up this T-34, I think. T-34 down. Does not get punished by any mines in this road, fortunately. Here comes another T-34 to assist in this engagement, and another one just got called in. This one is on the left and not available to help over here. A T-grenade getting tossed by those conscripts gets cancelled. Apparently he's going to switch targets to the Stug for whatever reason. This T-34 falling a little low because it doesn't have support from the other 2. Here they both come. One flanking from the west on the rear armor of that Panzer IV and will be destroyed. And I think that this over-aggressive push by Skin was a huge mistake, because he cannot afford to trade like this, I don't think. Wow, that volley of Panzerschrecks, though. Maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. That T-34 goes down. This one looks like it's maybe not going to survive either. Huge volley of Panzerschreck fire right there brings it so low. This T-34 is back for repairs, but we'll wipe this flamethrower squad if it does not retreat. And over here on the left side, this T-34 needs to backpedal harder away from that Panzerschreck blob. Flamethrower chases away a Pio squad on the left and maintains victory point control there. Victory points also in Soviet control here on the right. The AT gun got cleared, and the flamethrower Pios were wiped, bringing Skin down to an extremely low size army. Spends the last of his manpower reserves on a Panther, in addition to his Vet 2 Stug, which will be going up against 2 T-34s, a third one probably soon. Sector artillery just got dropped. I don't think that's gonna hit anything. I don't know why he really did that. Maybe it'll kill this scout car? That's 200 munitions he just spent to drop that. doesn't require vision though, right? It kind of looks like it might require vision, because nothing's happening. That dropped one shell.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Wow, that was awful. I guess this requires vision. Either that or it's just extremely bad. One of those two things. Didn't get very good value out of that investment. Okay, well, so much for that artillery strike. Panther on the field and Stug. Here comes the Panzer Grenadier Blob with their Panzer Strikes fully reinforced and healed.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies. We have a new Su-85 to deploy. Sturmovik close air support is available. There are no cowards here. Good work,
Two squads here on the left side moving to take control of the victory point, the strategic point there. Panther moving up to engage against that T-34. Stug moving to assist in this engagement as well. This could be a decisive engagement depending on how that Panther performs. There is an Su-85. There's finally a tier 4 unit on the field. Su-85 taking shots at tanks at range. This T-34 destroyed by Panzerschreck fire, but PPSH is in close range. Will bring these the Panzer Grenadiers down very quickly. Bundle grenade forces a retreat from that squad. This squad needs to move up to assist against the Panzer Grens, which just got wiped anyway. Stug falling quite low. Panther falling dangerously low to Su-85 fire. T-34 is going to go in hard. Switches targets to the Stug, but its shot misses. Panther continues to fire. Where did that come from? I think that was an Su-85 shot. Su-85 shot kills the Stug. Panther is probably going to go down. Main gun destroyed. And the Panther is annihilated. Soviet player still has everything. All infantry squads, by the way, have pretty much wiped. That one's going to go down too. Skin does not think he can take this game, and that's it. GG. Well played.
Hold this ground for the people.
I think. I think that I would have liked to see more doctrinal features used. Sector artillery clearly was just so useless. I don't even understand how that ability works. Hopefully somebody can explain that to me, because I don't get it. But didn't build a single trench, didn't hold down anything. Most importantly, he didn't build a Pak-43, and then at the end of the game he complained that he didn't know how to deal with tank spam. So yeah, I don't know why he didn't build one of these. Would have been nice to see. Got overwhelmed by T-34s by the end, and he could have definitely, I think both players could have improved their micro quite a bit. He was floating 700 manpower by the end, maybe could have replaced some of his losses, I don't know. GG though, Soviets win.